Amine says, often, when I talk during a meeting, I feel stuck. I can't find the work. I think you mean words. I feel really awkward. Any advices? Advice is uncountable. So it'd be advice. We can never count advice. You can look up countable and uncountable nouns. Very interesting stuff. Okay, so we often have meetings, especially now that we're on Zoom a lot, meetings online where we have to talk about something, present something, and it can be challenging and stressful when you have to present something or talk about something when English is not your first language. But most people are communicating in English because if you have a mixed nationality work environment, it's the only option, generally. So what can you do to improve your confidence and this feeling of, I can't find the right word? And there are a couple different things going on. Number one is there's a natural instinct to write everything down. And I don't want to say don't do that, because that can certainly reduce stress. If you have a long presentation and you have some notes that you're following and most of it is written down, the bonus of that is that you'll make sure you say the words that you want to say. The downside of that is that it will feel less engaging, feel less authentic. It'll feel less like you're actually interacting with your colleagues. So that's the pro and the con of that. The ideal is to be able to just speak and make sure you're saying what you want to say, and it feels more genuine, authentic, and you're interacting with your colleagues rather than just spraying words at them when you're reading a script that you wrote before the meeting. And also, if you have to write a script for every meeting, it's very time-consuming. It's not something you want to do. It's something that you want to try to move away from. But there's a compromise there. The compromise is if there are some really important words that you want to make sure you use, just write those down. So maybe there are 8 words that you want to make sure you mention, very important words, either specific to your role or just really important words that you want to make sure you say as you're explaining this slide or that slide. Just write those down in notes somewhere on your computer, and you can glance at that as you're speaking. Now, this is a sort of nice middle area, right? I really recommend using the outline structure. But the danger with an outline is that an outline gets too close to a script, that you write way too much with your outline, and then you can't use it anymore, because an outline should be something you can quickly glance at and know what's next. But if it's more like a script, and you're going to be tempted to just read it, but if it's not word for word, then you can get lost more easily, right? So if you do a script, you have to do the whole thing. If you feel confident in what you're talking about, but you need a few keywords, just write down the keywords. If you feel like you need structure and you kind of get lost, and maybe you want some keywords, then keep your outline as basic and minimal as possible so that you can just quickly glance at it like that, and you know what's next, what you're saying, and oh yes, I need to use that word. Now, the other thing here is that when you're speaking in front of others in general, someone asks you a question, you didn't prepare for it, and you need to answer the question, and you need that word, but it's not written down because you didn't prepare for the question that you are going to be asked by your boss. Then you feel, what's the word? I forget. Because you feel nervous. This is a totally different thing. This is a question of seizing up as a result of nerves, seizing up as a result of not being comfortable enough doing something, right? So I'll give you a simple example. Yesterday, I did something very stupid. When I feel under some pressure, I'll do potentially the dumbest things that you could possibly imagine. I was doing something, and my wife said, "Why are you doing it that way?" Not like yelling at me, but just somewhat questioning why I did it that way, right? And then I was thinking about that. That put me under a little bit of pressure. Why did I do it that way? I can't even remember what it was. But as I was thinking about that, because I was now under some pressure to answer why I did it that way, my actions suddenly made no sense. I was scooping the litter box. I have 2 cats, and cats go to the bathroom in what's called a litter box, and you need to scoop it. And we have special bags, small green bags specifically for that. But instead of taking one of those bags, I took one of the giant black trash bags that are not for that purpose. And I didn't realize I was doing that until I was halfway through. Why am I using the wrong trash bag? Why am I using this giant black trash bag for this thing? That's the dumbest thing I could possibly do. It's because I had, in my mind, kind of frozen up, and that had caused me to not be able to concentrate on what I was doing. Now, why do I mention this example? Well, this is a common thing. Anytime you're in a situation that you're not used to, that's new, that's untested, that you haven't thought about before, anytime you're in that sort of situation, you get put out of your comfort zone. And that's very good. Being put out of your comfort zone means that you will be able to overcome that and get comfortable in it. Being pushed out of your comfort zone is the only way to make your comfort zone wider, right? But it becomes harder to, for example, when you're in a meeting and someone says, "Why did you do that?" to answer with the words that you need because you don't feel comfortable. You're outside of your comfort zone. So what you have to do is find ways to put yourself outside of your comfort zone in that way so that the next time your boss asks you a question and you need to give a 3-minute response, you feel a little more comfortable and a little more comfortable, and you gain confidence. As you gain confidence, as you start to feel used to this kind of thing, then because you're relaxed, the words you need will come to you fairly automatically, right? But then you might say, okay, well, I'm not in a situation where I need to answer a question like that 3-4 times a week. Maybe only once a month or twice a month. It's not often enough. Right. That's the problem. You need to push yourself outside of your comfort zone more often so that when you come up against that kind of situation, you're used to it. So there are a couple things you can do, some of which I've talked about. You can join a meetup group with native English speakers where you have to participate, speak your opinions, say what you think in front of others, and do it twice a week, so that you get used to that feeling of someone asking you a question and you have to articulate your thoughts in English. Record yourself answering questions. Make sure you record yourself. Watch the video back. Look at it. Give yourself feedback. Get used to being under that kind of pressure, even if it's pressure you give to yourself. Schedule more meetings with your colleagues, with your English-speaking colleagues. Make sure it's something relevant to work, but push yourself a little bit to host a meeting, to have a meeting that you think is important, and be the one talking, the one explaining things, the one introducing things, to try to get used to that. And then you'll find, as you do these things and others, exercises, pushing yourself to host more meetings at work, joining meetups, starting a YouTube channel, this kind of thing, as you push yourself, you'll find that, oh, there's the word I need, because I feel more relaxed. The point is, when you feel relaxed, when you feel confident, when you feel comfortable, more things come to mind more easily. And the only way to get there is to push yourself so that your comfort zone expands. So I hope that answers your question, Amine. It's a good one. Guys, if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. Also, hit the like button or the thumbs up. and check out my full courses in the links in the description.